Hello and welcome to the latest episode of the Girthcast. We promised this, we said we were going to do it, and we're back.
Hi.
Hello, David.
Hello, Craig.
You were on the last episode,
I
weren't you?
was.
So you don't have to explain yourself at all. People
Nope.
who watched the last episode, they know who you are.
Yep, they know
It's
that.
you that need to do the explaining. You're Michael.
Me, myself. Yep.
You're here to talk about Doctor Who, aren't you?
I believe that is the objective of what we're trying to accomplish here.
Turn that off.
Okay.
Yeah, and are you going to be joining us, Megan, or are you just sitting in and...
I'll join you, but I might not say very much.
Fair enough.
That
As much
seems...
as you want, you have opinions.
Yeah.
I have opinions, but they're not very extreme either way about last night, so
I mean,
probably not what
that's-
you're
I
looking
bet you'll
Like
get
most
roped in.
people's opinions. That's.
Things will get pretty heated. I'll say some things and you'll be like, no, these are the things. You know,
I
like-
am fully expecting that to be the case.
Oh yeah, warm bombs will be dropped.
Uh-huh.
I'll say it early,
Dropped
and I'll say it.
already.
Yeah, exactly. See if you get out of the way at the start, then people don't have to worry about it. Don't have to
Right.
sit sweating,
Got you.
waiting for those bombs to drop.
But yeah, we're here to talk about
Yep.
Series 11,
What was the
Episode
name of-
1.
What was the name of the episode?
The
do we know?
Women Who Fell to Earth.
Oh, that's a pretty good title for that episode, I guess. It's not at all about her, though. is the
No,
thing.
I found that as well. I was surprised by the kind of weird lack of focus on her falling to Earth.
Yeah, she did fall to Earth.
She kind of did.
I
I
was
was the only
wondering,
person who fell to Earth, though.
Oh,
Disclaimer, which I'm sure that the many thousands of listeners will probably be filling the comments.
there's one listener.
If I don't
Was
get
it
this
me?
out of the way.
Maybe, yeah.
I believe this is also true of Megan as well. I don't know if it's true of you guys, but I have not watched the previous Doctor Who for quite a large part of it.
That's
Uh-huh.
good. We need some. like,
The last episode that I attempted to watch was Dinosaurs on a Spaceship.
Yep, classic.
I missed quite a lot of Matt Smith's run.
is that a Chibnall joint?
Dinosaurs on we should have the spreadsheet of the things that
We
Chibnall
talked
actually
about this
did.
last episode and we've already forgotten.
Who's Chibnall?
Chibnall is the new showrunner, the new
Okay.
He
Moffat.
wrote last night's episode.
Anyway,
He's
yeah.
done a lot of bland work, and it's kind of weird he's in charge now.
Also wrote Cyberwoman.
He did write Cyberwoman, if you remember
Oh, is
Cyberwoman.
that the one with? Is that the Torchwood episode?
That's the Torchwood episode.
Yeah, with the scantily clad, sexy. cyber
Scantily
dog.
clad Yanto Jones's girlfriend that he keeps in the basement. Like in a
This
like
is not selling them to me.
what?
Yeah. Particularly when he's now in charge of new feminist brand Doctor Who
He-
with women in it and stuff.
Exactly. He also did Broadchurch though, so that's kind of how it makes sense.
And,
Oh,
Law,
yeah, yeah,
and
well,
Law and Order.
That's
UK.
why he's the
Hmm.
showrunner then, because
Oh, did he do Law and Order UK?
He did.
With
Law
Bradley
and Order
Walsh?
UK was
Bradley
a very
Walsh.
bad show and not at all like Law and Order. But
I've
That's why
never-
he quit Torchwood to
To
run
do
Law and
Law
Order.
and Order.
Really?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that actually.
well,
No.
okay.
Hence why RTD took it over.
The point I was trying
Hmm.
to make was I've seen probably about half of Matt Smith's stuff and none of Peter Capaldi's stuff. As much as I like Peter Capaldi and as much as I was enjoying Doctor Who immediately before I stopped watching it,
Well,
it was just one of those
this
things.
isn't a Peter Capaldi, this is a new
Aye,
Jodie
but
Whittaker.
That's good context though, because I think that's a lot of people.
Yeah.
A lot of people fell off with Capaldi, even though everyone's like, we love Capaldi.
yeah,
Well,
exactly.
yeah, a lot of people. I fell off.
So why I brought that up was I kind of assumed that I might have known why Doctor Who fell through the roof of a train and didn't have a sonic screwdriver and didn't have the TARDIS if I'd seen anything of what had just happened.
Guess why she was falling to earth.
She was exploded out of the TARDIS when she regenerated.
Yes.
Okay.
That is the fact.
That
That's
is
exactly
literally it.
as you were
Exactly
suggesting.
what happened.
Well, good to know.
The British press were not kind to that fact that she regenerated into a woman and then immediately crashed the TARDIS. That was
yeah,
that was the
actually,
headline.
That's
It was a reboot where we will no longer need this TARDIS regeneration.
Oh,
so there was a lot
yeah.
of pyrotechnics.
we don't. Oh right, so they're getting another TARDIS set.
Well, that TARDIS wasn't in that episode, and it kind of looks like that's going to be the ongoing quest is to find the TARDIS.
We'll
Yeah,
see.
which I was thinking for a bit that it might be a sort of I forget which doctor it was, but there was a doctor in, I think he was like number 5 or something, who was stranded on Earth.
That's 3.
That's
Is it 3?
Big
Right.
Pertwee.
Pertwee. John Pertwee.
Pertwee.
And yeah, he had the Whomobile, I believe.
He had the Whomobile for like an episode. He had like Bessie, I think it was called, the yellow car.
Right.
And then the Whomobile was this separate like hovercraft, and it had like 70s green screen effects. Not pretty. Not pretty at all. And its own wee vanity license plate called like Who 2. Yeah.
I remember buying the box set of the Tenant ones for me and my flatmate back at the start of my PhD, and I remember watching all the Eccleston ones after I'd finished with those, and then I watched nearly all the Smith ones, and then Capaldi started about the same time I started teacher training, so I was leaving for work at 7 o'clock in the morning and not coming home from evening job till like 10. And unsurprisingly, I stopped watching it by then, which I'm sorry about because I thought Capaldi was a good choice. So it's actually nice to be watching it again.
Yeah, it's good to be back on the wagon, isn't it? Like sitting down,
Wagon.
Doctor Who happening, and it's now until Christmas. So
Which is great, and they always release like a Christmas special that's worth watching. So
This
why
one might
not
be-
Watching, not
continue?
necessarily because it's good in a lot of cases.
Well,
in my
we
opinion.
talked about this
it's-
on
but
episode
some of them
0.
were very good. The
Some
Christmas Invasion.
I rather
was
liked
not bad.
I rather liked that one that had Santa just in it.
That's
being,
Nick Frost.
just being Santa.
Yeah.
Because Santa exists in
I love-
Doctor Who continuity.
Well, I think he was imaginary in that episode because like
I
the
thought
plot
it
of
was
the-
like I thought it was left open ended. I might be
it might have
misremembering.
been, but like the plot of Alien happened. There was like face huggers, and they were
Yeah.
like monsters, and then there was a great exchange where like they're like, "Oh, Santa's not real," and then like Santa was like, "Oh yeah, the Doctor's not real." Like a man that travels about in like a police box through time and space.
Incidentally.
What
And how are we structuring this discussion?
banter? Mainly, we're going to talk about
I'm
like
thinking we should probably get into the episode pretty soon.
yeah.
But like, because I just there's one particular point that I want to make that I've just been reminded of
Yep.
by the whole like
Fire away.
saying the Doctor isn't real.
Mhm.
It might not be that out of place. I think it was quite close to the start of the episode, but I believe that Bradley Balsh.
Yeah, I know what you're going to
Quite
say
close to
here.
the start of the episode, made some remark to the effect of, "Aliens aren't bloody real."
I died when that happened. I think it's vaguely excusable on 2 fronts because the universe has been reset a few times.
Oh, how's that now? Okay.
But
Moffat made a point of like humans not knowing about aliens as much.
That's maybe a good idea, but also my favourite thing about one of the Christmas episodes actually was I forget exactly which one it was, but it was the Titanic one.
Mhm.
They went on the Titanic and space cruise and like dropped by on Earth on like Christmas Eve,
Mhm.
and I think that was the first appearance of Donna's granddad's.
Wilf, yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Because he was just there being like, "Oh, I'm like the only one out. What are you doing in London at the moment?" Because we have an alien invasion every year at Christmas, and people have noticed that, and they have now fled London.
That was good for that time because in that episode Turn Left where the Titanic actually did crash, it would mean that less people died. Millions of people still died from the nuclear radiation and whatnot and the impact of the Titanic hitting London. But yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, but anyway, my point was that it's like aliens are a very well-known thing in
2
Doctor Who,
point.
or at least they were when I was last watching.
I think the Eccleston and David stuff, David Tennant stuff, has been kind of wiped in the public consciousness, and I forget why. I think it was because of the Pandorica stuff and the rebooting of the universe.
I think so, yeah.
I can't-
I don't think it was explained as that, but I think
was-
that's partially why.
I was trying to write notes for this today. I was trying to work out what big scale events have happened since 2010 that the humans would have seen, and I'm pretty sure Cybermen invaded London at one point under Capaldi.
Yeah, I think I might have seen some episode trailers about
I'm pretty
that.
sure everyone who had ever died had been converted into a Cyberman.
Wasn't there a war between Cybermen and Daleks on Canary Wharf during David Tennant's time?
That
as
was in
well?
Tevin, but that had been wiped, so that was before
Yeah.
Smith.
Yeah.
But that is a point that happens in this episode. You did mention that. I thought that the 2 factors that nullified that were the universe reset, and also they made a joke about we don't get aliens in Sheffield.
Yes.
So like maybe
Yeah.
they do get aliens, just not in
It
Sheffield.
Yeah.
was
Which I
very,
can
big,
believe,
very big
like-
on the Sheffield stuff.
Sheffield Steel.
Yeah, the
We can talk about a bit about.
We should probably start at the start. It
We should
started.
start at the start. Like
with-
sort of walk through the plot of the
It
episode.
started with a YouTube video.
It started with a
Started with a
YouTube
YouTube
video.
video.
Actual like front end looking.
It started
YouTube, like,
cold
layout
open
as
with
well.
like a dark BBC logo,
Mm.
and then straight into.
and into a YouTube video.
Also, it was shot at a weird aspect ratio.
I can't
Like
see aspect
a
ratios.
weird aspect ratio.
Much like frames, I can't see them. Tell us more. Like,
Well, it wasn't 16:9 because it didn't film on television, but it wasn't like 2.3.5 or whatever like cinematic uh, aspect ratio is because it didn't have massive black borders, but
Right.
it had wee bitty black borders. So they were doing
Interesting.
some cinematic.
I didn't notice that, but I did notice it did feel like a step up in like visual quality and like filming.
It did.
You know
again,
how-
it was, like, good color.
You know the
grading.
night and day difference between the End of Time and Matt Smith's first one.
Yeah, it
Um,
was like sort of like
David Tennant got into Matt Smith. Eccleston and Tennant had the very like 2005
look to them.
non-HD.
Maybe the End of Time isn't the best example.
No.
'cause that already was HD.
Was that
but,
HD by then? Right.
The production.
The quality stepped up.
The quality stepped up basically.
I felt-
it did so again. I would
I
say.
felt that last night that as soon as it started and they were on the hill and like everything about it looked like a modern TV production, but I felt that was contrasted quite harshly against the sheer northernness of everything. Like I literally couldn't handle every line of dialogue the wee family was talking about.
So yeah,
Before
like
we get into the Refamily, I would like to make the point that the YouTube video that we saw
Yeah.
during the cold open was simply titled "Hey."
Yeah, I feel like they were going for a very like
oh,
authentic
this is like a
youth.
secret blog. Like
Yeah,
no,
Like, he's not going
no,
for-
like, he's not getting the big subscriber numbers
No.
with the video called "Hey."
No, but it's like a hobby kind of thing. It's not going for the big. He's not a big YouTuber. He's a 19-year-old
He is a
apparently.
19-year-old. He did not really seem like 19-year-old. But I
takes all
suppose-
emotional resonance out of it because we know he's going to get back to Earth in the end to upload his YouTube video because he couldn't have in that episode. Oh no, I guess he did it.
He
at
did.
the
Done
end.
it
I
between.
could have done
Yeah.
it at the end. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're right.
But,
So yeah, it starts on
cuts
a,
to
the family.
Bradley
Ryan.
Walsh.
Ryan. played
Ryan,
by-
I don't
his
know
name?
the actor. I didn't even know the character's name. I was calling him Dyspraxia Man.
Ryan Sinclair, I think was his
Ryan
name.
Sinclair. That's a
And
very
then
companion name.
Bradley Walsh, who
He
played
did do
Graham.
very much like "Hello, my name is."
And then
something,
Grace is Gran.
Grace,
Grace,
yeah,
yeah.
her name is Grace.
So, he was trying to learn to ride a bike because,
And-
as it's explained, he has dyspraxia.
Xia.
Now,
Up a hill. Why did they take him up a massive hill
and
when
like
he
20
couldn't ride
minutes
a
away
bike?
from 20 minutes away from their train.
Like
as
they had
well,
to get a
Bradley Walsh
train
mentioned.
to get to this hill. Like, why can you not just
I
go
would
out
imagine-
into the street? It was
I would
like
imagine. that
actually,
he
I guess
didn't
it was
want to,
to-
he
yeah.
didn't want to practice riding his bike in the street because he
Yeah,
was embarrassed
yeah,
about people
embarrassed.
seeing
That
his
They,
makes
feedback.
sense.
they
yeah.
wanted to like help him ride a bike. I got that. But as soon as he like angrily threw his bike off a mountain,
So this is what I was going to say. So we have discussed this online before, but I think a few of us have dyspraxia in
Yeah.
the group. I am one of those people.
I like to say I
And
have dyspraxia.
Before, have you not had a diagnosis?
No.
There you
Should
are.
really get that diagnosis though. That probably would help in
I
life.
don't know if it would like now if you kind of got this far, but anyway, it helped me in school. But yes, what I was going to say was when first saw him starting to ride that bike and falling over, I literally said out loud, "I can relate to this gentleman," because I tried to ride a bike and I could not.
Oh, no.
And then he immediately got angry and threw his bike over a cliff. And then I said out loud, "I can no longer relate to
This gentleman. Well, he threw his bike over a cliff, and then his family, his gran,
Left him.
They left him. They left him to like go down a mountain himself.
And get the train.
He is
Like,
19.
He's 19, but he
I
has
know, but-
dyspraxia. He can't ride a bike. But they're like, no, go down this steep, mossy mountain yourself. I'm sure you will only die.
It's like they were on a proper train. It seemed to be quite far away from where they lived. And they just abandoned him. And this sort of brings
When
up
it
a
cut
point.
to the train, actually, it was very late as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this sort of brings a point. A lot of the editing in this episode was kind of weird. Like maybe
Quite
they had some
janky.
deleted scenes, or there was like sometimes it didn't flow. Like that straight cut from I threw my bike off a cliff to them on a train and him in a forest trying to find said bike was a little bizarre.
There was kind
Nitpicking.
of jumpy bits, but yeah, he threw his bike off a cliff, and then he found a paper mache slime from Dragon
It
Quest.
was very paper mache. It was slime shaped as
It
well.
was-
It was blue.
it was a
It was
blue-
that or a Hershey's Kisses.
A Hershey's Kiss, yeah.
I was trying to think for the longest time looking at that thing what exactly it reminded me of, and I think it might have just reminded me of a slime from Dragon Quest. But also, it looked so much like it should have been like a prop from Power Rangers season 1
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
something.
My first thought as to what it was, I thought it was a TARDIS cocoon.
All right,
I
yeah.
thought that too, because it's bright blue.
It is
Yeah.
bright blue, yeah, and also the TARDIS should be able to look like anything it wants to.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. When I saw the giant paper mache slime, I shouted yes because they were going for it. Because like before this, they haven't released any shots, of any monsters or creatures or any like prop work or anything. It looked like they were going kind of serious sci-fi, modern day stuff.
Yeah.
And then they just turned around in this forest, and there was this giant
Literally in the woods.
in the woods
paper mache.
paper mache slime that they were treating very seriously. And then like Doctor Strange portals started appearing.
Well, it was the Doctor Strange portals first.
Oh, was it Doctor
Yeah,
Strange?
Ryan touched a light with some like pentagram looking orange
Yeah.
stuff around it, and then the paper mache thing appeared before him.
They were making a big
and then
deal
he
about
touched
that.
the paper mache thing.
He
Yeah.
touched the paper mache thing and it was like cold. And I like how they had to spell
I'm
out that
not
it was
sure,
cold.
But I'm not sure how much. Because I thought like for the entire thing that they were going to go with the whole like, oh, it was Ryan's fault because he touched the thing, but then no, it wasn't at all his fault because it would have happened anyway. He just thinks it's his fault and that's important for some reason. But it never really. I guess it was his fault because he
They,
touched the thing.
they made a scene of that where they were
Yeah.
like access was granted because some human touched the thing, and it made it seem like he did a bad thing, but
And it was
no,
like
he
a,
didn't
it was,
at
it was
all.
sort of like played
Yeah.
for a joke line because it was like, yeah, that was me, I touched it.
It was a joke line, but also like we're establishing a fact line as well.
Yeah.
And it's like, who cares? Like,
It was part of I suppose I'll get to this more when we're talking kind of conclusions, but it was part of a greater problem with the episode that I had where there seemed to be too much of everything and not enough of everything.
oh
at the
yeah,
same time.
absolutely, yeah.
Anyway.
I'd level that a bit. The entire like everything that happened in the episode was kind of that because like there was a lot of the Doctor and stuff, but like she just turned up in a train. Like that was the next thing that happened.
Yeah.
But like, did she really do anything? There was like a tentacle monster. That was like the next big thing to happen.
Yeah, it was like a thunderball.
Well, yeah, so after that we met our next companion, Yasmin,
Yes.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Yaz had a
Yeah.
scene.
I rather
Fed.
liked Yasmin.
police
I like
officer.
That line about her being a Fed.
Yeah.
Like, do young people say
I
that?
d-
Do young people from Sheffield?
Well,
Urban
young
youths
people
in Sheffield.
very well may say that because, as we know, Doctor Who is now fully aware of how young people talk. Because the Doctor decided that she might want to call the rest of the characters fam.
She
at
did
one
make.
point.
She did make that. She did. I was gonna say make that joke, but it's not really a joke. It's just a thing that she said.
She was like, "So what should I call you? People, team, fam?" And then that was.
But we got
No.
Yaz, who
Yeah,
I think
who
is the
was bored in her
blandest.
job.
Do you think she's bland?
I think she was the bland out of those people who, because like it was tough competition because the companions you had were Dyspraxia Man, who has dyspraxia, which is incredible.
I really hope they don't define his entire
Oh no, I
character
don't hope
with,
they do
I
that
have
either.
dyspraxia.
I was just in awe that he had dyspraxia.
But I'm sure there's a.
And the other companion was Bradley Walsh.
Yes.
So compared to those two, I think she came off as a wee bit bland.
Bradley Walsh is the host of The Chase.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Americans.
Yeah.
They're listening.
How do you? Yeah, one American. It's
How do
probably
you
unique.
explain something like Bradley Walsh?
You don't.
You
Bradley
just
Walsh
sort of
is an
explain that
enigma.
he's like a sort of vaguely like chappy old man. Like.
How do you explain
Also,
Chappie to like?
like his character is way more aged than what Bradley Walsh actually
yeah.
is. Bradley Walsh isn't that old. Like he's
No.
not a granddad.
He's certainly not a granddad to the guy who was playing Ryan.
Yeah.
Well, he had to wear a wig
Well-
apparently. One of the fact pages on Instagram was telling me they had to wear a wig because
Yeah.
he couldn't dye his
Well, he
hair.
wasn't like biological granddad. They made that point.
I was really happy that they made him a granddad. That they're leaning into Bradley Walsh being an older guy. Like
But,
that's great.
Yeah, but everybody had at least two character traits.
Hmm.
Bradley Walsh's first one is that he's Bradley Walsh.
Bradley Walsh,
The
you know.
second one is that he was a bus driver.
Yes,
And-
incredible.
oh, he actually did have two character traits. He's a cancer survivor.
Mm.
That came up later.
That comes up later, and I think that really helps his character. As
Grace-
monstrous as that sounds.
Yeah, Grace is a protective grandmother, and also like the primary care provider for her grandson for at least a few years, and is insane.
I don't think she was insane. I think the plot around her was insane.
Yeah, I suppose.
Grace, who I thought was a nice person, like in the episode, I thought she had like fun stuff, and I thought her relationship with Bradley Walsh was really good.
Yeah.
Like I really believed that they were a couple and that they were having fun chasing down these
Can't
monsters.
Yeah.
I thought like the immediate snap to know she has to die,
Yes.
which we'll talk about later.
Yeah.
But like that was telegraphed right from the start. Like,
Did you think so? That's
well,
quite
there was
surprising.
like I say, there was a snap where it was like, no, she's very definitely going to die.
Yeah.
But like from the start, it was like she's probably going to have to die because we know that Bradley Walsh and these people go away with the Doctor. So
Well, she was like the one that was like all up for that.
I
She
know
was like,
she was, wasn't she? So she's going to die.
"Eh."
But like,
I mean, I would say that you're not making any sense with that, but at the same time, you were right. So.
yeah, exactly.
So Yasmin turned like she does it like a traffic call, and it's like, oh, this is terrible. And then the Northern police, I was like, hey up, Chuck, we got some proper work for you. Hey up, Chuck, go to the forest.
Yeah.
Yep, Chuck. Yaz is a trainee police officer. Is she 19? Because she's in the same class.
I don't think
Yeah,
she's
she
a
must be
trainee police
19
officer. I
because-
think she is an actual qualified police officer
Mm.
who is newly qualified and as a result is not trusted with particularly.
Can you be a cop at 19? Can you be a Fed
I
at
don't.
age
All
19?
they said is that she went to the same school. They might not necessarily be the same.
I think
age.
they were in the same year. 'cause-
Yeah,
Yeah, they had that.
said that. So they turn up at the slime, and then they're like, "Oh my god, what is this?" Rrr.
What is this? It's
And
a slime.
that
Touch
was-
it. It's very cold, apparently.
Yeah,
we have to tell you that,
That
it's
was
very cold.
basically it. They met again because it looked like they hadn't, like Ryan and Yaz hadn't seen each other for years. And like, oh yeah, you're a Fed now, blah. And
That
then
Fed
it's-
line killed
yeah.
me. I can't.
And then we cut to Graham and Grace on a train, just somewhere vaguely,
They left them because they were on the train.
not really sure. They were going back to Sheffield. There's a quiet train.
I don't know.
And
If
then-
do we necessarily need to do like point by point the plots? Because can we just like talk
We could
about-
jump around to like the thing.
I was sort of going like interesting. Like I think we should
We can
go
build
for
up.
the plot. I think we should go for the plot.
We can build up to like the Doctor reveal because
Yeah, I'm just what I'm getting. I'm sort of getting like here's all our characters.
Mm.
Like, 'cause it's
Fair
probably
But because when the Doctor just like fell into the train, presumably through a hole in the roof.
Mm.
I think she just broke a hole in the roof.
Yeah. I don't know.
Well, I think didn't she chase or was falling after the thing because the thing was there and then the Doctor was there. I should have probably watched the episode twice to get these things down. But like, because that happens, you get your first look at the Doctor and the Doctor turns up and does doctory things.
Yeah.
She's like a hero doc.
tries to talk to the Thunderball
That-
thing.
that's
I guess,
fine. The
is
Doctor-
like the one thing she tried to do.
The te-
Doctor's
Tentacle
two
ball.
moves are like diplomacy that never works and genocide. Like that's all the Doctor can do.
Is it?
It is. You know this for a
I'm
fact.
pretty sure I've seen quite a few episodes where the Doctor would just like
You
use
know-
the sonic screwdriver in something's direction and everything would get fixed.
It get fixed via the medium of genocide.
Mm.
Like it's fixed for everyone. Humans are fine. That person or that alien's race is just gone forever, and the
Yeah.
Doctor doesn't care
See-
because that's it, all it can do.
That was a theme that I feel like Russell T Davis was quite keen on was because there was a whole episode about that, the family or something.
The family
it's
of
called.
blood. He doesn't genocide them. He just kind of traps
Well,
them
like,
in
yeah,
eternal
but
prisons.
They have a whole thing about that. It's like, oh, the people think the Doctor is not scary because he doesn't kill anybody, but he does things far worse.
Yeah.
I'm like, does he though? I'm not sure if I believe you in that one.
Well, that story was written for the Seventh Doctor, and he's like, he did blow up Scarrow. So
I suppose.
the Doctor fell into a train,
Yep.
and she was there, and I would describe her as a standard hero doc, like a Tennant.
Yeah.
I
it's
think,
Matt
she
Smith.
will- I think what the Doctor is for the entirety of this episode is David Tennant's Doctor.
Yeah, she does a lot of gurning and like.
And like probably.
I would
and,
not
like,
be that surprised to hear this Doctor say along Z.
I stopped watching. Like, I will not watch Doctor Who if they go to that level of pandering. Like, it's not happening.
I feel like she quoted two at one point when she was talking about her family at the end.
Oh yes, I had a family once, sort of thing.
You
Yeah.
just keep sitting in her mind. I feel like that's directly lifted from like Tomb of
Possibly,
the
I've not
Cybermen
seen
and
a
stuff.
whole lot of the old Who.
But like her character, I would describe as not bland, but just kind of standard cut about hero.
Like she was very big on like, oh yeah, help people and
Yeah.
right
Well,
wrongs in the universe.
her character, such as it was in this episode, was very focused around like I have just regenerated and I'm very confused. about
Aye.
everything."
Aye.
But
And I think we saw that presented in a very like you will understand this about the character way when Chris Eccleston turned into David Tennant, and I felt like we saw a lot of the same points hit
oh yeah,
in this episode.
Well,
here.
the Doctor's always a bit funny when they regenerate, so that's fine. Like,
Fish
yeah,
fingers and custard and all that.
there was bits of it that of her character that I quite liked when it was a kind of team dynamic.
Yeah.
where they're all like in a circle, and the Doctor wasn't necessarily the figurehead of the circle, if you know what I mean. She was kind of there, and she would make like a funny aside to her like self. She like said a thing, and then she laughed at her own joke or whatever, but there was still things going on. So like I like that, and I like that she wasn't necessarily. She like people did things in the episode that weren't the Doctor doing things.
Yeah.
Mainly those were bus driver related things.
Oh, yes.
But like
Ask the bus driver.
I feel like her character, because it's really hard to judge like a Doctor in the first episode when they're doing regeneration silliness, and it's the first time you've seen them, and it's like you're getting used to the actor being the Doctor. But I couldn't, in all the conversations I've had since last night with people, it takes ages for me to get to the point where I talk about the Doctor, because she kind of isn't really anything yet.
Yeah, which was maybe a point that the episode was trying to make itself.
Yeah.
She did have a line where she was where she was very much sort of doing the like the Doctor's a woman, now deal with it.
Yeah, she very layered that on so thick
Yeah.
that it kind of
I
worked.
don't think there's a problem with her layering it on thick because like that is the BBC and the writing staff recognizing that there will be idiots
Oh,
online
yeah.
who are very unhappy about her being.
I feel like they might have made, not intentionally, but a very kind of okay episode with like points that you can't really criticize. Because like, as someone who consumes quite a lot of like horrible media on the YouTubes, I can't think of anything that you would pick up on to be like, oh, this agenda.
The central plot was very, very bland.
It was very
Like,
bland.
It relied a lot on, oh yeah, this looks really good and it's got like a cool soundtrack and like yeah, I like the characters,
Well,
but like,
everything after the train.
for like, I mean, obviously First Doctor eps are never going to be like, you know, hard sci-fi like.
No, this is like the win back the crowd episode. This
But-
is like get everybody on side.
everybody's going to watch this one because it's the new one.
Yeah, and
so-
it's the big one because it's like the first female Doc, and like we've got this captive audience.
But
That,
Yeah.
I can't get past how it had a lot of structural similarities to the 11th Hour.
yes,
Like, especially in the first half.
the 11th hour
like,
being the first
Different
Matt Smith
cut-
episode.
Yeah, cutting about a town. There's like,
With Sophie from Peep
there's
Show,
like a,
who was being talked about possibly being the Doctor.
Yeah.
That would have been great.
there's a monster
Yeah.
ostensibly trying to chase another monster.
That was the thing. See, when it looked like it might be like a cop monster chasing a renegade monster, but that only lasted like 5 minutes.
It
But
did.
like for that 5 minutes, I was like, wait, is this just the 11th hour? But no, it's just Predator 2.
It's just Predator, yeah. Well, actually, I really like that. Was my favorite aspect of the villain, and I'll have something to say about the villain. But like, I quite liked that the whole journey of the episode was actually working out what was going on. Because in a lot of Doctor episodes, what happens is there's a mysterious, scary thing. The Doctor turns up and is all like, I know what this mysterious, scary thing is.
Yep.
It's this. And then they run away from Daleks for like 20 minutes.
I would watch that, and I have, and I will
And
again.
you have at least like
Several
7
dozen
times
times,
in the last 2 series.
I was.
But yeah, our villain's sort of cutting about in a like a mask.
Well,
Like, he's
he's
like
a
a
He
big
was
sort of
cutting about.
metally
He was
dude.
cutting out being the guy from Dead Space.
yes.
Killing people.
The pod, the slime, the paper mache slime
Oh yeah,
splits
yeah,
open
splits open.
and kills a guy who's very inconsequential to the
Yes,
plot.
so this
Yeah.
is another point about mine. There's too much of everything. There's too little of everything. 'Cause
Well, no,
that-
he kills the sisters.
Well, there's a sister, apparently.
His
Yeah.
sister, who is not in the episode, who was presumably killed or taken by this.
Should we
villain.
take bets on that sister appearing later in the series?
I don't know that they care enough.
I mean, I think that would be exactly the type of thing you could take a bet on, because I think that they might care enough about that character to put her in it, and they might not.
Well, they
She doesn't
established-
actually have a connection to anybody else anymore,
Mhm.
because they killed
They killed her
they
brother.
killed Sheffield Mulder.
He was trying
Sheffield
to.
Mulder, there was like
Have you ever
a
seen the X Files? Because
Yeah.
this whole thing is that aliens kidnapped
his sister, yeah.
Yeah.
and he's like he's like looking for aliens.
He should have
so-
phoned Torchwood. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Torchwood
This
would
was
have got
a-
on
this
that
was a
years
much
ago.
more this was a much more Torchwoody.
Oh, there was a moment.
villain
There was a moment
than
where, like, I was
the
like,
sort of thing the Doctor should sort out, because it wasn't like that high stakes. Like, get Torchwood to deal with,
There
and
was-
the Doctor can go like kill the Daleks. Like,
Again.
there was
No, I
a
quite
bit.
liked how it was a bit low
There was a
stakes.
bit in the episode where
Yeah,
it
you're right.
clicked for me that I was kind of just watching Torchwood because the monster, who looked like a cool monster design and he had a good like vocal sound.
was it the kebab scene?
No, it
That
wasn't the
was
kebab scene.
Straight out of Torchwood.
It wasn't the kebab
that
scene.
Could have happened in Torchwood.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But it was the bit where the monster revealed himself, and it was on top of like a parking lot thing, like a car park.
A parking lot.
A parking lot.
You're
How much
American.
American
I know.
content have you
I
been
can't
investing?
deal with it. A car park, a parking structure, a multi-story.
The parking
And-
garage.
I feel like that happened multiple times in Torchwood, where they'd chase like a monster to the top, and then he'd reveal himself, and you'd be like, "Oh, this is a cool monster design," and then he'd reveal himself, and then he'd have teeth all over his face, and he'd be like, "I take their teeth as a trophy because we are the predators."
Yeah, so
But this is a PG BBC thing.
I think that whoever was writing that script had an idea of what a monster with teeth all over its face would look like. And I think that image in that writer's head was a lot scarier
Aye.
than the actual monster that
The,
we got to see.
the Doctor had a line of like,
Because
"Oh,
he
like,
was just a blue guy with some teeth glued to
Initially
his
looks
face.
like he had an acne problem.
It did.
Yeah.
It
You can
really
tell
it
did.
doesn't even take like I need to see fan art of him brushing his face." Like that's all I want from
It
like
will
that
already
race going
exist.
forward. Yeah, absolutely. The monster who looked cool. It was a cool suit design. He had like a vape rig on his back, and he had like a cool voice, and it all felt kind of like better than what they've been doing
Do
recently.
you remember what the monster's name was?
Tim
Tim
Shaw,
Shaw.
and he was credited in the episode as Tim Shaw.
Not Tim Shar, which
No, Tim
Yeah.
Shaw.
I
That
thought-
was like I laughed at those lines, but they felt very like
I think-
generic
I think
Doctor
that
banner.
went too quickly because as soon as like they unmasked him,
Mhm.
like there should have been a bit more of him being scary instead of just suddenly having the piss ripped out of it.
Yeah.
It's a little bit like because in my head, like
It's like you finally come up with a new Doctor Who villain and then you discredit them within
Immediately.
seconds.
Well, he was kind of painted as like a loser because he was
Yeah,
a proud
yeah.
predator race guy, but they're like, no,
Who
you have to
carried
cheat.
weapons.
Is you have to cheat with your like your tentacle monster and your like. They had like another cheat
Well,
teleporters and.
he was supposed to be doing this thing where he was hunting down a specific human without any kind of technological aid,
Mhm.
Except
whilst
he,
wearing an Iron Man suit.
except
Yeah.
he was allowed to have the thing that showed them where they were. Was that allowed, the tentacly thing?
No,
that
that was the point of that.
Yeah,
was
yeah,
cheating.
yeah.
He was allowed to have one thing. I feel like I think there was like.
Well, the thing is that like he was killing people with his, I would say body heat,
It
but
was
it's like
his-
body
it was his
coldness.
He's body
Yeah,
cool,
yeah.
yeah.
So,
But like he didn't need that because he's a big burly guy that could just snap a guy's neck.
yeah,
Like he was dumb, but memorable. He's memorably dumb. That's
so-
something.
By this point, the plot has taken us to a comedy building site with a useless crane man.
I didn't think it was going to be so crane based, but it was incredible. Like the sheer like crane.
Also, 2 points about the characters in this area. We saw the guy who was on the crane before in the train,
Mm.
Yeah.
and he was another character who like got a little bit of development that didn't go anywhere.
Which
Mm.
made me knew that he was going to be important.
He was very
later on in
deeply
the episode.
suspicious.
It was like I'm going to work, and I thought he was going to be the guy that was like driving the van of the slime pod.
Yeah.
That he wasn't. It was just some other guy. An additional character that didn't have anything to do, by the way.
Yeah, he just went to have a pint. Like he had a great night.
Yeah. He was like, yeah, I just delivered this weird thing to this weird guy, and then I went home.
Then I went home.
That's
You know,
all that happened to
that's
me.
a night in Sheffield.
But so yeah, I kind of got the feeling in a couple of places where they just like wanted to give like some actors they knew a paycheck.
Mm.
Because there was also like the granddad who was on the phone to his granddaughter in the building site office.
Oh yeah, but that was so sad because he died. He died, Michael.
But like, was that just there to establish that they were at a building site and the monster was also there?
Also,
Everyone's
like,
human, Michael. Everyone has a little life
Can I
going
just
on.
say,
It's
for
not
a-
just the
For
Doctor.
a show that's extensive, like sort of trailed off, it's more family friendly. Than
Oh, yeah.
Doctor Who. The body count was high,
Mm.
and people were
Well,
always
that's a thing because a lot of people online complain about how no one dies in Moffat Who, and they got really sick of like everyone living.
Yeah.
So maybe that's like a correction they're putting in. It's like no, stakes are real. Like care about people because they will die.
The thing is, you say that, but see when you kill somebody off that your audience has been introduced to like 10 minutes
Oh,
before,
aye.
you don't have time to care
Yeah,
yet. You
I'm
need
not
to
saying
get to
they're doing
know
it
those
well.
people before you care that they die.
we're going to talk
Which was
about that
incidentally.
because that's my biggest
Yes.
criticism. of the
Absolutely,
episode.
mine too, really.
Be sad, be sad. Why? I just met this person.
Yeah, so there's some crane shenanigans, and
It
then
reminded me of the Amazing Spider-Man 1 with
Yeah.
its crane use, which is never a bad
the
thing.
Doctor saves the guy who's being hunted, and then we get our final confrontation with the monster. He's planted DNA bombs
Oh
inside.
yeah, I forgot how dumb the
All
DNA
of the DNA bombs
was.
were not great.
Right in the
Planted the
collarbone,
DNA
because that's where
bomb.
you've got the
and
most
all-
DNA.
Yeah, and
Mm.
yeah, in all of the characters' collarbones, and then the Doctor just fixes it with the sonic screwdriver.
Now, did the Doctor
screen.
fix it
Off
with that
screen.
phone that she fixed? Because she zapped herself with a smartphone at one point. She just zapped herself
Yeah,
against the
she
wall.
did. Yeah,
It looks
And
like-
was only her. I think that fixed hers.
It
and then-
looked like it fixed hers, but they never commented on anything there.
Yeah.
She just made a joke.
No, but she explicitly said we got rid of the DNA bombs with the sonic screwdriver.
Later she did, but they must have got them off
Was that
screen.
off camera?
Yeah.
Yes, it's kind of not right. It's like I once watched a criticism of Sherlock that complained that he solves all those mysteries with information that the viewer isn't privy to.
Yeah.
It felt like that. It felt like not only had it happened off screen, we weren't aware it had happened until the villain knew. So it positions us with the villain rather than with the protagonist, which I feel isn't quite.
That's
It's a bit jarring.
that's something I've talked to Michael a lot about, because Sherlock at a certain point isn't about solving mysteries. It's banter and memes. It's cluing for looks, as I like to say. That is a joke they made once, and that joke is essentially what Sherlock is. It's them cutting about having a gay old time in London. Like
Top Gear or something.
exactly, it's not about the mystery.
Top Gear, but
like,
there's a murderer.
like there's such a but like that's what modern TV is. It's mostly just bants and memes. That there is like a proper market out there now for like a proper mystery show, because people don't have that anymore.
Well,
Yeah, it's true.
the thing is that on the BBC there's plenty of mystery shows, but it's always the really depressing, like Happy Valley / Broadchurch style thing where like
Raincoats.
it's actually a character drama that happens to have some murders in it.
Yeah.
And also, like the world is just the bleakest place imaginable.
And
Mm.
that
that's
person's
a
now
slight
writing,
tangent.
no.
That person is now writing
Right.
Doctor Who.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's the sort of lead up to the crane scenario was a bit of another example of the weird editing, because Yasmin was on a shift, and I'm pretty sure there was no dialogue about how our shift finished.
There was
Like, what-
one line that was almost exactly, "You're off your shift now."
Oh,
Stop,
right,
it was
that
like,
must
you're
have
off your
been-
shift,
yeah.
stop pestering me for leads, because she was on the Doctor team at that point and looking for
Right.
the Scooby-Doo monster.
I feel like regardless, you should have probably reported this to the police.
Well, no, the Doctor took her into, like, the Doctor's like mesmerised her now, because she's
Yeah,
on
yeah,
site.
yeah.
You're wanted to
correct,
talk
you're
about this when we
correct.
mentioned
Fair
Yasmin
play.
before. Yasmin's a police officer. When Yasmin first interacts with the Doctor, she like her entire thing is like, no, like stop telling me what to do, strange woman who has apparently fallen through a hole in the ceiling.
Yeah.
I am a police officer. I will take your name, please, and your address, please. And
But
then I
that
will
lasted
deal
for
with
5 minutes.
5 minutes, and then the Doctor was like,
Psychic paper / I don't know.
well, it wasn't
Cult
a
cult
no,
of
no,
personality. She was just like, no, I'm a cool guy. Listen
I'm the
to
main
me.
character, so you work for me now.
Yeah.
Give me a lift to this place.
In your
That
police
was
car.
very good at, yeah. So
Also,
we're at-
do you not have like a cop partner? That seems like a standard thing that you'd have. even
Yeah,
if
we're
you're
at-
new.
we're at-
but I think they didn't want to.
We're at,
Yeah.
we're at a building site and the doctor's like, police officer Yasmin and dyspraxia boy, you need to climb that crane. Like,
Meanwhile, the people who aren't police officers go and convince everybody else to leave their place of work.
this was
They
my-
had high vis on.
See the high vis, best part of the episode. See when Graham and Grace turned up with like their high vis that they had got somewhere because they were like crafty, and that's exactly what the doctor told them to do. And they looked the total part of like, oh yeah, we like work for the company. We don't go. We only
Health
go to
and
sites
safety.
occasionally. We're
Yeah.
like health and safety. Perfect. Like they turned up. He was like, oh, it's time to get out. There's a safety. I forget exactly how they described it, but Bradley was a little boss. She was like, oh, there's a electrical safety issue. You need to get out off the site now. Off site now. And then I thought they're doing great work with these 2 and then they fucking ruined it.
They like I said earlier, they telegraphed that they were going to kill Grace, and when they got to the building site, they really telegraphed that they were going to kill Grace.
There was a bit where I can't remember exactly what happened, but I just sort of went like, oh no, they're not going to kill her, are they?
They killed her. They killed her to death.
She was up a crane
Special
fighting the
person.
tentacle.
Using
Weapon.
The weapon, which again we didn't see the plan of like how like because that weapon worked on the Thunderball before.
Yeah.
We didn't see like a scene of the Doctor being like, here's the weapon that will definitely work on the Thunderball, and here's how to use it.
And then
Oh.
And just worked before.
She-
But she went up, used the weapon on the thing.
She
and
got
then-
electrocuted because it was an electrical weapon, and she was hugging a metal crane, and it was a techno tentacle monster
And
that
she
had already
fell
been
off
dealt
the
with in the
crane.
episode, but could turn back up again. Presumably,
Yeah.
it just got better. I'm not really questioning that, but like it got better. She died after the monster of the week had been dealt
Yep,
with.
it had been dealt with for a good couple of minutes. Like
Yeah.
he had fallen off the crane with his teleporter.
The Doctor had rocked up to the monster, said that she was the Doctor at him,
And
Yeah.
can I just add, in a worse written scene than Matt Smith's
The 11.
iconic
Oh,
I
yeah,
Am the
that was a really
Doctor.
good scene. I mean, people have decided not to like that episode now.
No,
but I
only
enjoyed it.
idiots don't like that episode. It's one of the best Doctor. It's like up
I'll
there.
say that I hated that episode the first time I saw it, but
No,
I
You
have,
did, but you have strange opinions.
I have strange opinions.
And also,
I have
you've
come
come
round
round on
it.
that opinion.
Many bank holiday viewings have turned me around on that episode, and it has been like 8 years now.
Like I did enjoy that bit from the Doctor. I just don't feel like it was like quite up there.
It was like a
with,
kind of like, I'm the Doctor, I've done a sonic screwdriver thing, now your face is melting.
Yeah.
Which I appreciate the face melting part. And
And
then,
then, but yeah. So
there was a small bit
he
where
falls off the crane.
well, he doesn't fall off the crane. He gets kicked.
Kicked off, yeah.
By
He
the
gets
unimportant
kicked off
man.
And again, thing that's very much like something which you could have developed in something interesting, but they just had it as one line and then left alone, where the Doctor was like, "You had no right to do that."
But the Doctor had just melted his face.
Yeah.
The Doctor had just set his entire body to spasm and fall
Well, the
apart.
Doctor is Batman in that way.
Oh, yeah.
Like
Bombs.
she will do everything to you apart from killing you, but she won't kill you.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's very much killing him. Like, he's not going to die because he teleported away. Like, he's going to be fine. But she DNA bombed him 5 times. Like, that was a
Do you
going
think
for the
that's
kill.
necessarily worse than being DNA bombed once?
Yep, that's
yeah.
5 DNA bombs going off in your body.
They made it
all
sound
in your
like one
collarbone.
DNA bomb was I really enjoyed Graham being very worried about the DNA bomb.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's
there were a
like,
couple of
"Hey,
times
why
when
can't you
they
not
were
tell us
talking-
when there's DNA bombs
There
are
were,
going to
there
go
were a
off?"
couple of times.
And she was like, don't worry about the DNA bombs, they're unimportant.
We've already established that in this episode already.
It's
Move on,
fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Grace sadly fell off. Oh, when it happened, I thought it didn't look like that high. Like, is this going to be like a comedy fall? Where like, oh, I'm fine, and then her and Graham share a kiss or something. But no, she just died.
She just dies, and
She
we
just
have
died.
like, a fairly long scene of her funeral.
She was like,
I
I thought she was going to be a good, like, I knew she wouldn't be joining the
She-
crew, but I thought like, oh yeah, they'll come back to her occasionally.
Like a
I
Jackie
did not
Tyler,
know
just
that
on
she-
air.
Yeah, like a
fucking
Jackie
about.
Tyler type. It would literally be the equivalent of if they just killed off Jackie Tyler
Yeah.
and Rose.
Mm.
Like,
And I didn't know that she wasn't going to be on the crew. I've not seen any spoilers
Yeah.
about it, so it really did.
it just felt
did surprise
needless
me.
and unearned. Like they had gotten like
They could have
No,
easily
Carol
earned it.
points out. I mean, I know that like this is probably like not something that they were trying to do, but like in a cast full of like oh we're being very diverse here.
Mm.
The old woman of color they just kill off.
Yeah,
You know?
they kill it. It's just the whole like needless killing of her, and like I know it's there
Yeah,
to
for
like,
no real reason.
it was like they wrote up her character
Mhm.
and they had a bullet point that she had to die and then they wrote her dying in the
Credit-
episode. It didn't feel earned. It
No.
didn't feel like she worked up to anything.
it's really sad because she's very likable. Like,
Yeah,
she was really nice in the episode, and like I thought her relationship with Bradley Walsh was really well done, and I thought not the twist,
Her
I guess.
relationship with her grandson was pretty good.
Yeah,
too.
but like I thought like the whole like her being Bradley Walsh's cancer nurse was great. Like I
yeah,
thought
that was a
I
great.
doesn't even see that coming. I thought
And also, we don't.
The thing is, they
we
could have
don't
added
need her,
this-
We
they
don't
could
need
have
her dying for her to not be in the show going forward.
Yeah.
either. Because the very last thing that happens in the show is that like they're trying to sign something up with the Doctor to teleport her back to the TARDIS,
Uh-huh.
and then they all get teleported into space.
accidentally as well.
Accidentally.
It wasn't like they're like you can come with me
Yeah.
on the TARDIS and go have adventures, but maybe you'll feel bad about leaving your family
Like it
behind.
could have been just like, oh, I'm tired. I'm an old woman. I'm gonna.
I've been
check out-
electrically
or-
shocked.
You guys go, yeah.
She went off to pick up her cup of tea or something.
Or she was in hospital or something.
Yeah.
'cause she
Literally
had-
anything.
Like, I just
But it's
felt
there-
so needless.
It's needless, but it's there to like stoke drama between Dyspraxia Man and Bradley Walsh
Yeah.
because they'll have
They could have
bad
done
times
that
now.
anyway.
They could have,
They
but
had
like
already established that they kind of didn't try. Like they, well, not.
well, the thing is, there'll be a scene where like you are my granddad, like he'll earn
they could have done
grand-
that anyway.
I know, but now there's a
Yeah.
death, which makes it more meaningful.
Yeah, it just felt shabbily written to me.
Oh, I like
Like,
very. That was the
shabbily
worst, the
written.
lowest
It was
part of
the
it.
worst part of a pretty good episode. I
Yeah.
thought.
Needless kills in 2018.
Hmm.
What you doing?
So this brings me to another point about how sort of like weird plot point. Yasmin is a police officer.
Yep.
And she was involved in this whole weird scenario. Like it was known she was at this building site. Does she report the death? Like what does she
No,
do?
she was the character that specifically said they were lying about what happened at the funeral.
Oh yes, you're right. She did mention.
Oh,
something
yeah,
about
you're
that.
She
right.
said that they were
you're right.
lying about
So
what
how did they
happened.
explain away the granddad with the frozen to death face?
So-
They just didn't.
So she's
Everybody
in-
that's missing a teeth.
So she's
That's
in
not-
some deep shit when she gets back.
Again,
Presumably the doctor, like who knows
Yeah.
all of Unit, just like phone Unit at that point, be like,
Oh, go tell.
Yaz is like being promoted to Unit
go tell
liaison.
South
I
Yorkshire
feel like
police.
what Yasmin should do here is like totally report this.
Mm.
Be all like, by the way, aliens,
Mhm.
and maybe that's not like as much of an obvious thing that you can do post time skips and
Yeah.
reboots or whatever anymore. But like, I'm pretty sure that there will have been like high profile alien events and
Oh,
stuff
yeah.
before now. So like, by the way, aliens. Also, by the way, I told my boss that. And he was all like, "Oh no, you've had your shift stopped.
Yeah.
pestering me." So my boss is fired because
Yeah,
So So yeah, the episode draws to a close with Grace's funeral, and then that fantastic Bradley Walsh
I-
scene about how they met. That was really
That
good.
that
Yeah,
It
fantastic.
didn't feel
Probably
earned,
should,
but it was still good.
I,
That was
as much of a
the
monster.
best actually written piece of the episode, I think.
As
Yeah.
much as of a monster as it makes me sound, I love the fact that Bradley Walsh had cancer. Like, I wasn't expecting it from him. It adds so much to him, and like, I like the idea of them having an older companion that's cutting about, seeing the universe.
Yeah.
Potentially, he might die soon. I predict that we'll be crying about Bradley Walsh dying of fucking cancer by the end of this.
not.
He's in remission. He's been in remission.
I
for
know,
4 years.
but like, there'll be some like crazy space particles that make him
They
cancerous
could
again.
cure him of cancer.
Oh, that's the thing. He'll go through all of the series and he won't be cured of cancer because the doctor's never going to take him to the year
you're
5
absolutely-
billion,
there's no way
where they could easily just
There's
cure
no-
him of
there's
cancer.
No way they just do like a comedy
I know.
cancer curing
What I
because
particularly liked about it was
that would get bad press.
Yeah.
It galvanized their relationship against like exactly the kind of haters you know they're gonna have.
Mm.
Where people are gonna be like, oh, it's just fucking typical Doctor Who, BBC, the politically correct. They put in a mixed race couple.
Yeah.
Why they need to do that. Well, they have a very good story about why they would have met. So you know
Yeah.
exactly why that happened.
Slightly
That's
going
very
against
believable.
patient
Not necessarily.
Nurse.
medical
You know,
confidentiality.
He's Bradley Walsh.
How could you not fall for him?
Sorry, but I thought it was good. Like overall, I thought the episode was good, but I don't think I'll be thinking about it again. Really.
I felt like the villain was extremely weak.
Yeah,
In an
yeah.
episode 1, win back the crowd kind of a way. Do you remember the villains in Matt Smith's one? It was like, it was Coleman. Coleman was the villain.
Prisoner
That was
Zero.
not-
was
Prisoner
the big
Zero.
eye.
But-
Of course, I remember the giant eyeball from space.
That's not the villain. That was the cops trying
That
to
was
chase
the
them.
cops, yeah, but there was
The-
the giant eyeball from space, and then there was Sophie from Peep Show with 2 like dragon heads coming down from the ceiling.
Yeah, the
But
dra-
she wasn't just Sophie from Peep Show;
Mm.
she could be like other actors.
Yeah, she was a dog at one point as well.
Yeah.
That's not the best thing in the world, though, is it? Like
I'm saying it's better than this guy. It's better than Tim Shaw.
Tim Shaw. I like that he was a guy in a rubber suit, though. I like that they went there episode 1.
Yeah,
I could have done with him never taking his mask off.
Oh, absolutely, 100%.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, they did that. I thought it was like I really liked the characters for the most part. It looked fantastic. Like I never got bored at all. There was maybe like 5 minutes where I was a little bit bored. But it
I
felt-
think
it
that I'd
felt
be
pretty
very bored
pacey.
watching it again.
Yeah, you mean,
Like, it had a lot of, like, I don't know what's going to happen, so this is interesting, and it's the new doc and stuff, what's going to happen. But now that I know everything about it, it doesn't seem like a watchable
It felt pretty
episode.
pacey. I just feel like the script was maybe like missing like a little bit of spark. Like,
Well, it doesn't.
not so much in terms of the characters, but in terms of like the actual like minute to minute of the,
Yeah.
the
it doesn't-
adventure. It was missing
It
just
does
a little
not
bit of
at
something,
all.
which is kind of the criticism that have a lot of Chris Chibnall's Doctor
It
Who
doesn't at
scripts.
all answer the question of why Chris Chibnall is showrunner.
What? No, it very much does.
Does it, though? Because, like, I don't really.
No, okay.
Mm.
You're the BBC.
Broadchurch was a big hit.
You're
Yeah, but, like, this
You're the
episode.
BBC,
Mhm. I'm the BBC, go.
right? Chris Chibnall comes to. I'm gonna make like a woman doctor. It's gonna be like a
Aye.
diverse cast. It's gonna be set in the north.
No, I get
And
that.
then you get Mark Gatiss who goes, everything's going to be brown, unit's going to be in every episode.
I would watch
the
the
Doctor
fuck
will be
out
an
of
old
that,
man.
though.
Like, that's
no,
what
no,
Gatiss
I-
would have done.
I get that, but, like, in
so
terms
that's
of.
why they picked Chibnall.
In terms of, like. Like, you know how. Moffat was announced as showrunner, and that was universally praised at the time. Because he was the man
He
that
had written
wrote
the best
Blink.
episodes,
He
yes.
wrote the best episodes. You were hyped for everything he was going to do, and then he brought the 11th Hour, and it had the cracks, and it had all the kind of like the hype of like
It
what.
seemed like it was building to something.
It did seem like it was building them. I know my point doesn't go anywhere because it didn't go anywhere.
Yeah.
It did build some. It didn't. It
But it
didn't
didn't
necessarily.
build to the thing it was supposed to.
No,
No.
but it did build to some fantastic episodes. Like the Pandorica opens is
Oh, aye.
fucking fantastic.
Like that season 1, Claire had like a hook. Like what are the cracks? Like Amy and like stuff like going around and like her wedding and stuff.
Exactly, and there was
Going
no
in-
sign of the promise of that from this episode.
Yeah, like this episode is just like that was a very standard episode of Doctor Who. Done
And
well,
the
but
and the cliffhanger wasn't great.
I like
like-
that there's a cliffhanger.
Yeah,
But-
it's probably enough to bring you back next week, but it's still like
What do we think of the Doctor getting the costume?
In a
that
charity shop.
That was great. Loved
Yeah.
it.
That amazing jacket that
Like
she
it
just
was like
found
the
in a
first,
charity
yeah.
shop.
It was like you would never actually find anything that good in a charity shop. But I just loved
In
it.
Sheffield.
It's like I need to get some clothes. Where we're gonna go in Sheffield?
I quite like the bit
fucking
where she was
charity
like,
shop,
right,
obviously.
yes, women's clothes.
Yeah, she cut that cut was immediately followed
It
by
was a
having
handful.
earrings as well,
It was,
Right.
yeah, it was.
which they didn't like say where she got them, but we can maybe infer that she got them off Yaz, or maybe like Bradley Walsh was just like, right,
Also-
we're getting your ears
You're
pierced,
also
come with
yeah,
me,
did they go to
Earrings.
Claire's to get her ears pierced?
Claire's.
That's where you go, Jeff.
Oh god.
First ears piercing.
I could see Russell T Davis writing an episode where they go to Claire's, but it's
Nope.
like an alien Claire's, and then like the Doctor has to work at Claire's for like
yeah,
half the episode,
that's
and then
like that's this year's version of the Lodger.
yeah, that's the budget episode.
Is there going to be
Yeah.
an episode as good as the Lodger this year?
Is the budget episode always the best episode?
No.
It's very much
No,
not.
okay.
It's
I
very
quite.
much
I mean,
not.
I have a very soft spot for Boomtown.
There
The
has
eps-
been some
What
that's
was
been.
Boomtown?
The episode where the Slitheen come back, but it's just one of them because all the other ones died. You know, the farting monsters.
Yes, I do
And
remember those.
our plan is to build a
They were
nuclear.
power
they were
station in
strangely
Cardiff.
omnipresent.
It's
Yeah.
a very bad episode.
Right.
Boomtown is the episode they made when they specifically had no
No
money
money.
because they genuinely did run out of money that season.
Okay,
So they just ran about Boomtown for a bit. Very soft spot for Boomtown. It's pretty fun.
fair enough.
It's the episode directly before the finale, so it's got that kind of.
A lot of people don't remember
Armageddon
this, but
vibe.
RTD wrote like 7 episodes that series.
Oh,
Like he
yeah.
wrote a lot.
I like RTD. This isn't an RTD hating podcast.
I'm not.
This isn't even a Moffat hating podcast.
I think I said this earlier today. RTD was a bit of a bad showrunner simply because of the fact that he could only write one finale.
It was a hell of a finale,
It
though,
was a
Michael.
It was pretty good the first time.
That
I think
first
pretty
finale is
sure
fantastic.
on it.
That second finale is a banger.
Which one was that?
Daleks
Alex
vs Cybermen.
Cyberman, great.
Yeah.
The alternate Earth stuff
Bad
and the
Wolf
Rose
Bane.
finale.
Yeah, and the Zeppelins.
And Zeppelin, like
Yeah, okay, I'll give you that one.
yeah, the alternate like Rose's dad stuff and
Yes, I vaguely remember him.
like Mickey comes back, but he's like action hero Mickey because he's been in like the Cyberman
I
universe for
believe
a
he
while.
was called Ricky, actually.
The Ricky Mickey stuff. That was incredible work because of the whole like calling him Ricky in season
Okay.
1. Russell T Davis did good work.
Yes, and he wrote some very good episodes as far as I can
We could do a whole podcast about how I quite like
the
season 3's
opinion that
finale.
both Russell T Davis and Stephen Moffat did a lot of very, 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 very good work.
Well,
Russell, yeah.
what I was saying before, because we were
That
talking about
seems
this
to
earlier
me to be the
in
correct opinion. They were both had different RTD was better at the character writing than he was at the sci-fi stuff.
Hmm.
He really excelled at the character stuff. RTD was very good with his like world building and his like
Moffat was very good at his work.
yeah,
Well,
world
was
building
he?
sci-fi and his like just he made the show look a lot better.
Well,
have
Moffat.
higher production values.
I think the Moffat versus RTD thing has a thing where Moffat was really good, and then his things never really went anywhere, and then he burnt out
Yeah,
like before he had his second Doctor, and then he had a whole second Doctor to do.
yeah.
So that
Well,
like
the thing which I realised.
also he had sort of, but he still like could drop the odd banger.
Oh, the odd
like
banger.
Heaven Sent.
Heaven Sent is something that everyone needs to see.
Exactly.
Have you seen-
I probably haven't seen
You,
it.
it's on Netflix now. You'll have to watch Heaven Sent. It's a standalone kind of thing.
Fair enough.
Clara dies. Spoiler. That's a big spoiler for you, but no one cares.
Right.
We're t-
Imagine a
Does she
doctor.
die for good?
Imagine,
No,
you know
not
how
at
you know
all.
how you were talking about like Doctor Light episodes.
Yes.
This is a Doctor is the only character in the entire episode, minus a little bit here and there.
Clara dies in previous episode. Don't really need to know why. He's very upset about this, but he's trapped in this castle that's like a puzzle box castle, and it's Capaldi.
Ah, that sounds a lot like an Avengers episode.
Very Avengers-y actually, and it's him. I feel like it's an hour long, or at least 50 minutes.
Yeah,
like
it's very long.
it's longer than a
Great.
normal episode. It's just Capaldi talking to himself. It is fantastic. One of the best like crescendos
Yep.
in Who.
I might go and watch that after this. Yeah, the thing which I was going to say was I think I've just realised about Russell T Davis.
Yeah.
Is that he's actually exactly the same as Stephen Moffat in terms of like what kind of a Doctor Who writer he was, because this is maybe an oversimplification, but both of them could write a individual very good Doctor Who episode.
Yep.
But really fell flat on their face when they had to write a whole series and make it all work together and make it build to something.
I feel like
I don't think either of them. I don't think either of them executed. I think they both did pretty good. I don't think either of them ever executed it perfectly. I think RTD got closest with the Bad Wolf stuff, but that was so simplistic. Like
I feel like
It's
RTD
easier
had
to
a
pull
lot
off.
of charm that he got away with a lot more.
Well, no,
Like it was
no,
2005. You know, you could do a lot. You could do a lot of day glow
Are you
work.
forgetting how much RTD hate there was on the internet?
I suppose, but like, there's going to be hate for everything.
Exactly. That's my point. I'm just saying, like, I
You
hate.
are a revisionist, Craig.
I am a historical revisionist. I guess they both burnt out because like seasons 1 and 2 are fantastic, both endings, And then season 3, I quite like, but it does involve a lot
Oh,
of prayer.
no, but like, see, like we were talking.
The master one, yeah.
RTD's second
Stolen
series.
Earth, though.
RTD's second series has some shockingly bad scripts. Like New Earth is just terrible.
We were talking before this about how
The Werewolf one's vaguely. There's a lot.
Tooth and
of
Claw is
bad-
great.
I'm
Tooth-
amazed.
like,
Tennant had a lot of bad scripts to deal with. Like a lot.
Season 2 has Tooth and Claw. It has the bloody
School Reunion. Is
School
fantastic.
Reunion. It has the Cyberman 2-parter that's pretty good. It has the Devil 2-parter.
oh yes,
it has-
that's a bad 2-part.
What?
No,
Those-
it's
those
great.
bad
It's
episodes,
great. It's
but I like
great.
them.
It has the Idiot's Lantern, like the 50s
The
one.
Idiot's Lantern's quite bad.
What? The
It's
Idiot's Lantern's
kind of
great. What?
The Idiot's Lantern's
I
not.
love the Idiot's Lantern.
Well,
Girl in the
what I really
Fireplace.
like.
Girl in the Fireplace. Like most of the episodes are great.
What I really like about that
There's some really, really
two-parter with the devil and the ood
Yeah.
is that like the entire thing about the Doctor is like similar to Sherlock Holmes is that like it's just like no, I'm not putting up with any of your like stupid nonsense about ghosts and vampires and whatnot. Even if like this is obviously an episode about that, it's going to be some space nonsense. And so he goes and meets the devil.
Yep,
So it's all
Satan.
like, by the way, I'm the devil, and the Doctor's like, no, you're not. And the devil's like, no, I pretty much am. And then he goes and like looks at the devil's body, and it's the devil,
Yeah.
and he's like, this can't be right. And then there's no like,
Well, that's a kind of ambiguity. Was he or was he not Satan?
well, yes, he was. There's nothing to suggest that he wasn't.
There was a Satan.
He said he was.
There was a Satan because he mentions it in that episode, but there's a third Doctor episode called the Demons, the Daemons, spelt the metal way.
Demons,
The Daemons, where
the Matt Demons.
the Matt Damons rock up, and they are just Satan, and like they're very much the Celestials from Marvel. Satan, started life on Earth as like a cosmic experiment. So,
Yeah.
like that was already established in the 70s. So, I'm throwing up my hands here.
Couple of points about the episode, just getting back to it.
Yeah.
No opening sequence, which was a bit of a shocker. I was
Oh yeah,
speculating
we
that
got
it
a
was
little
just.
bit of the theme song.
We
when
did get the theme
Doctor,
song at
like,
the
showed
end,
up
which
the
sounded
first time.
fantastic. By the way, it had like these like sort of apocalyptic sounding drums with like what sounded very close to like the original 1963.
I couldn't
like,
enjoy it.
German-
I couldn't enjoy it because I was like, is this youth music? Is this a genre
Music.
of they've added like wobs or something to it? And like I couldn't tell if that was like just the basic theme that they hadn't changed or if they had youthified
It was
it.
a new composer.
And
it
in
was
my
like-
paranoia, I couldn't enjoy it.
It was a new
Yeah,
composer,
okay.
a lot less bombastic and
Oh, aye.
Murray Gold stuff.
The
I will
composer.
say, considering a lot of criticism about like modern TV shows about how the music is too high in the mix and the dialogue, that episode was totally fine.
I couldn't remember a single piece of music that happened in that episode. Was there music
Well,
during the
that wasn't
episode?
my
It
world
wasn't.
straight because I can never remember a single piece of music.
When
Oh,
when the Doctor first appeared on screen, there was a lot
There
of
was a
sting
lot of
of
you could
the
hear the
Doctor
Doctor
Who
theme.
Oh yeah, I remember commenting on that. They were playing the theme music like it was an anime.
Yeah, she did like a dramatic turn and look at the camera
Yeah.
thing, and it was like,
Yeah, that's dumb and fun. Is that like the first time they've ever done that?
I have no
Is that
idea.
the first time that theme music's
I don't
actually
think
been
it
in
has been, but it's not.
No, it's
common.
not the first time the theme music has at least been referenced in it. Because if you remember that season 3 finale, that
The
you
man,
liked so
yeah,
much,
the sound of
the
drums.
sound of drums and the
Here come
drums
the
are
drums.
da-da-da-dun, da-da-da-dun,
Yeah.
da-da-da.
That's great. That's fine. That's what time sounds like. He does that because that's what the time vortex sounds like.
I seem to remember that River Song said it was because he'd left the.
By the way,
handbrake
like
on.
me.
No,
and Craig- me and
that's the
Craig-
TARDIS.
Me and Craig had
Mm.
like this like revelation, like that series with like Saxon the Prime Minister is especially funny because when that series was airing, it was literally when Blair was stepping down. Like,
Yeah.
it was just.
Wasn't it between episodes? Wasn't it between?
Yeah, I feel like it was maybe between like the two finales that Blair stood down.
Yeah,
Brown
it was-
rose
the,
up.
The master was very definitely like evil Tony Blair.
Yeah.
So pretty much Tony Blair.
That master came back in Capaldi's last season, and he had Guyliner, and it was vaguely fun.
And Capaldi's last season.
Capaldi's last
Yeah.
season.
I thought the master had regenerated into a woman
Yes,
before that.
and they did a multi-master episode at the end where because Missy was being a kind of one of those characters that's like I'm evil, but like we're gonna turn good for this season. And
Missy's
like,
great.
Missy's great. I like Missy.
She's her off of Green Wing, if I recall.
Yes. And she was there being a companion basically to the Doctor or a second Doctor. The episode was basically like the Doctor took her and the companion Bill to a spaceship, and he was like, "Right, here's a Doctor Who plot. Go out there, Master, and deal with the Doctor Who plot. I'm going to watch you on the screens and see how you do.
We've got to go and deal with the season finale overarching plot. You go and deal with this Monster of the Week episode.
It was a Monster of the Week episode where it was a Doctor Who plot where like the head of the ship was moving at a faster time speed than the bottom of the ship because there were a black hole. I want to say
faster time speed.
a faster time
There's
speed.
like a 700 story like building.
It was a colony ship.
Yeah.
It was a Cyberman episode.
Right.
There's lots of spoilers. We should probably like say spoilers because this is last year, I guess. You don't care about spoilers.
I don't care about spoilers.
Okay, everyone. Spoilers.
Bill gets turned into a Cyberman.
Bill, the companion for the series,
a
gets shot.
Mendesian Cyberman.
A
That's
Bill, one of Capaldi's companions, goes with the Master, Missy, and then the first thing that happens is Bill gets shot through the abdomen with a huge like disintegrator gun, and there's like a shot where you see like through her,
Cool.
and then she gets cyberized in that episode, and it's horrible. They lean into the body horror stuff, which should have been doing for like a decade, but didn't. But my point here is that Missy's been a hero in that episode, but things happen, and then one of the characters reveals themselves as John Sim, like wacky John Saxon master, and he like rocks up and he's like, "Oh, Missy, I'm very worried about my future," and then he makes a lot of like girls are smelly cracks throughout that episode.
At
And-
any point, does he eat a chicken?
No, he gets an erection at one point when like Missy is very close to him. There's like a kind of confrontation scene where she like one-ups him in like evilness, and then
dumb.
he's implied to have an erection, and that happened. That genuinely happened. We should not forget that happened.
They basically kill each other. It's quite funny.
There's an incredible, like we're deep into spoilers, but they kill each other. It's like he doesn't want her to get away and be a hero, so he like shoots her, and she's already stabbed him, so she's the reason she regenerates into herself.
Okay.
It's fantastic. It comes after so much things happen that it doesn't matter in the slightest, and it's kind of a waste of bringing John Sim back to do stuff.
Also at this time, like Capaldi's very close to regenerating.
Capaldi's like dead, like he's a walking dead kind of thing because he's already been shot by
So it's
Cyberman.
like the whole thing about David Tennant's like going around for like a week and a half.
No,
and
not
things
quite
like
that.
Not well, kind of more than that.
Actually,
because,
well,
yes, it's
Yeah.
worse than that if you don't like that because he gets.
didn't
there's
like
a whole, he
that
has a
at all.
whole episode after that.
Yeah, he just refuses to regenerate because he just doesn't want to live anymore. And then he has like a Christmas special where he learns to live again and
With
turn
the
into a
help
girl.
of the first Doctor.
Yeah, it retcons the first Doctor into not wanting to regenerate.
Yeah.
He like wanders out into the snow where he like fought the Cybermen in the 60s. And he's like, no, I'm going to remain myself. I'm like a cantankerous old sexist, apparently, according to that Christmas episode. Did you see that Christmas episode?
I haven't seen anything since.
Oh yeah, the first Doctor doesn't come off well, but he doesn't want to regenerate, and that they tie that together with Capaldi being like, no, I'm 2000 and something now. I've lived enough. It's fine. Just let me die. And it was very like, no, the show has to go on, Doctor. Like Moffat's leaving. Just regenerate.
Which number of Doctor are we on now?
13.
13th, but is it
Technically
technically
the
14th?
Well, I was going to say including John Hurt.
John Hurt, yeah.
Because,
He doesn't get counted, even though he did good things, because they don't get to remember that he was good.
John,
Wasn't there a whole? I bring this
he
up all the
did
time.
Big
when we talk
Finish
about Doctor Who.
specials, did he not?
He did, and then he died. They're doing
Yeah.
War Master stuff now. Derek Jacobi is out there being the War Master.
I bring this up every time that
Mm-hmm.
that we talk about like the number of regenerations, but wasn't there a whole thing where he was only supposed to have 13 of them?
Yes.
Yes,
That was a bit of lore.
Matt Smith's final episode, he gets more regeneration.
The Time Lords huck him some from another dimension. It's
They
beautiful.
hook him some through the crack.
There's a crack. The thing on the other side of the cracks is Gallifrey, and they like I don't know if that's what it was. Not even originally, or even the second time.
The crack disappeared for like a full series or two and then came back.
Yeah.
Yay.
The crack, they hucked him, and it was literally like a physical like throwing of like gold energies, and they're just because like Clara convinced them. She was like she was talking at a crack, and it was something like, "Oh, he's done so much for you." Like, and you can just huck people regens because John Sim got regens. Like he turned up and they're like, "Oh, I'm a master. Weren't you like a corpse? Weren't you Eric Roberts?
Weren't you Eric Roberts?
Weren't you Eric-
And then like a water snake. or
Yeah,
something.
weren't you a water snake?" And they were like,
Eric
"Yeah."
Roberts,
The Time
Eric
Lords
Covey.
like revived me and gave me a new regeneration cycle. So they were like, "Yeah, just give him a new regeneration cycle."
Yeah, he's got 13 more.
Fair enough.
They didn't even say, they just said he got more, he has more regeneration.
In conclusion, was The Woman Who Fell to Earth a good episode?
Yes.
Yes.
It was like 7 out of 10. I
7 out of
enjoyed
10.
Seven
Better
out of
than
10?
better than Capaldi's first episode. His first
Sure,
one.
I'll take your word for it.
His first one involved a dinosaur and Victorian London, and it's very, very bland and basic.
I would have the order of like
New
new Doctor episodes as the 11th Hour,
Mm.
then Rose, then this.
Rose is
Rose,
very good.
Rose and this are vaguely equal. This is slightly worse. It was still a very good episode.
I would
And
say
then
Rose was better. than this one.
Capaldi's first one is
Mm.
bad because it's in Victorian London and fuck. I just don't like
You,
it at
you
all.
you should elaborate on this because you're on the podcast and you should
I
give
should
people
elaborate.
context. You can't deal with Doctor
You know,
Who episodes
like,
set in the
I
past.
feel like, does everyone have like a Doctor Who episode trigger where like you see like 10 seconds of it and you just know you're not gonna like this episode? Mine is like Doctor Who episodes where they come out the TARDIS like England 19 or no.
Well, no, you love that now because
those are
of
great.
Twitch.
Those are great. It's like England 1622. I'm like fuck. I'm not gonna watch this. Fuck it. There'll be like some
Oh.
Mary like welcome to England. Fuck.
Englandshire.
Fucked with it.
My least favourite Doctor Who episode ever was the one where they met Shakespeare.
Really?
Yeah, like that's the
that was-
exact kind
yeah.
of episode.
Not
I just
because
cannot
not
be
because of
fucked
how
with.
holy world it was, but more because like how they did not integrate the Doctor Who-iness into the plot.
Yeah.
At
Also, they know
all.
that fans don't like it because those episodes now invariably have like a spaceship in them, even though it's set.
Well,
in
that's a
the past.
pseudo.
Well,
that's been good.
Doctor Who.
That is what Doctor Who
Yeah.
is. Like,
Yeah.
I had that trigger bit for like first Doctor episodes that were like purely historical,
Yeah.
where like there was no alien twist or like tech
Marco
twist.
Polo.
Marco Polo.
I have no problem with that. I think that's actually what they kind of should have been doing the whole time, because the whole thing is that the TARDIS is a space. and
No,
time
because those
ship.
episodes are bad. Because the second Doctor Who serial is the Daleks, which is fucking amazing. And then after that, it's like, oh, let's go
Well,
to the Aztec.
I watched the Aztecs on Twitch,
The Aztecs is quite good.
and like
I think that my least
It
favorite.
drags on a bit.
yeah,
I think that my least favorite Doctor Who type of episode is when it's literally just like, oh, it's modern day London again.
again with like no cutting about and no like twist.
Well, it doesn't matter if there's a twist or not. It's just like
Did it
I
matter?
don't. You could go anywhere or anywhen, and it's modern day London.
Was modern day
again.
Sheffield fine?
Modern day Sheffield was sort of fine because it was
Yeah,
introducing
yeah.
a character. It's
Mm.
like here's a state of normality, and modern day
Can
Sheffield
we,
is
can
the
we,
shorthand
can we
for
rate this
that.
episode out of 10 on the Brexit-ometer?
Oh, the
I'm
Brexit on Sheffield Steel.
I'm going for like a 6 because it was like quite diverse. The Brexiters would nail like that.
Talk me through
But-
the Brexitometer.
Well, we had a bet last week about whether there would be a Brexit reference.
We did.
There wasn't. But
There was
I'm
not
still
Brex-
holding out hope for the series. I'm still holding out hope for the series.
My theory is that they'll get to like an alien world where it's nice and fun and sunny and happy, and when they're in that kind of nice, cozy, safe space, they'll bust out the Brexit joke.
But
Well, if
there
I
was
were,
a,
if
there
I were
was
writing Doctor Who, what I would do for that would be that I would have them go to the future and like future London in like 5 years, and it's like a Mad Max wasteland, and then somebody would be like, "Oh, what caused this? Was it Brexit?" And they'd be like, "No, actually, it was increasing the price of a Starbucks by 5p." I feel like that's the joke Doctor Who would make about
That
Brexit.
is the level of Doctor Who joke. You are right there.
But there was a whole bit about Sheffield Steel powering the sonic screwdriver, and that was very Brexity.
Yeah, I think they were walking a Brexit tightrope because on one hand
They were trying to attract Brexit voters.
they were trying to attract Brexit voters with
Doctor Who
their.
is for everyone.
It's for everyone, but like young people don't watch TV.
I think the
They watch
if
it on
you
a
look
streaming service afterwards.
at- Well, like I did.
Yeah, exactly. But like they don't sit down of a Sunday. That was the thing. It was on Sunday. They moved it from Saturday, and the moment they said they were putting it on a Sunday, I was like, "This is because of Brexit, isn't it?"
What?
Yeah, like the sheer like. Do you not hear Sunday and think of Brexit? Like
No,
sit down.
what?
Sunday is the most Brexit day.
It is the most Brexit day of the week. Like it's got Strictly Come
Sunday
Dancing.
dinner, Strictly Come Dancing.
I
Songs
watched
of
Country
Praise,
File. I watched
Antiques
Country
Roadshow,
File because of
Country
this.
File.
Let me tell you why.
Michael Gove was on Country File before Doctor Who.
I'm not surprised by that.
Like,
Let me tell you why they put those programs on Sundays. Point the first.
Mm.
Nobody's doing anything on Sunday. They're
Yes.
all staying home. Point the second. Strictly Come Dancing is still one of the highest rated
By
programs
the way,
on BBC.
we forgot the most Brexit show of them all.
yeah.
Points of View.
Points of view.
I like Points of View.
Oh no. Well, I think if you dissect this, you can take it point by point because they are trying to court some Brexit voters because they did hire Bradley Walsh. They sat down and they thought Bradley Walsh was a good
Oh,
idea.
Did you see the trailer for like who's going to be in Doctor Who this year?
Yes.
Yeah.
And did you see that Lee Mack's gonna
Yes! How have we not talked about Lee Mack? I hope that Bradley Walsh and Lee Mack fuse. Like a gem from Fused
Universe.
Steven Universe.
But-
Like I hope they just like fuse into one like super chappy that like cuts about and just says bloke.
Maybe that's,
Point about being
maybe Lee
Northern.
Mack.
Yeah.
It's also from London.
Maybe Lee Mack will give us a Brexit reference.
I was yeah, I suppose. Well, I don't know. I hope that he's related to Bradley Walsh in some way. Like
Well,
is
I
it
hope,
maybe
that I
son?
hope he's another bus driver.
another yeah? Wait, was he wearing high vis? And
maybe
he's-
he's Bradley Walsh's son.
He could be Bradley Walsh's son. That would be great, and they could have like an episode where Bradley Walsh's son, because it'd be like, oh, my grandson,
Meet my step grandson.
yeah, meet my grandson, and you're nothing like because you're like a millennial, and here's like baby boomer like Lee Mack, and he's bloking about with me, and we're going down a Chippy reading a Beano, and then like by the end of the episode they're like, no, we both have merits, we're all like a happy family. That writes itself. I would not watch that.
That whole coming soon trailer with just actors' names was
I
bizarre.
yeah, it was bizarre because I
I
knew
feel like
two
It's
of them.
also actually kind
More
of-
spoilery.
It's more very spoilery, but it's also actually I think like why haven't they been doing that for years?
Yeah.
because that's kind of been a draw to Doctor Who episodes for a long
The
time.
thing is, they did it in the trailer, you could just tell anyways, but apparently in America they did not show that trailer, which I'm not
Really?
surprised about. 'cause
Yeah.
we
Who
wouldn't have a clue
cares
who
that Lee
any-
Mack's going to be in it in
they
America?
wouldn't have a clue who any of them were.
No,
I
they
didn't
would.
have a clue who any of them apart from Lee Mack.
No, yes, Alan Cummings.
Alan
Oh
Cummings.
yeah, you're right. Yeah, he was in it.
It's like
He was.
I think he's Guy Fawkes, or at least a Guy Fawkes era guy.
Yeah, something.
Has the look of the kind of episode that makes me go, ugh.
Yeah, but what
Yeah,
if they
but,
like
like,
work
you're
anonymous
doing
into
yourself
that
to-
somehow?
You're dooming yourself to not like 50% of Doctor Who episodes, and
Well,
at-
no.
At the point where like 50% of Doctor Who episodes are always going to be bad anyway,
Mm,
you know.
that's true, but I feel like the ratio is skewed to more modern day stuff. It's like modern day and future and alien stuff, and then historical stuff. So the historical stuff is.
I get
alright.
why they do the episodes that I don't like, where it's just modern day stuff,
Mm.
because
Those are the
that's a
most
lot
hype
cheaper.
episodes.
Eh,
I get hyped,
eh.
and there's stuff they could do stuff there. They could do urban fantasy stuff. They never do.
Well, exactly. That's the thing. It's always like, oh look, it's just exactly it's relatable.
It's relatable.
But like,
There's
you
a-
could go to anywhere. You could go to exactly the same place like 10 years in the future, and you could do something.
There's a
interesting.
Capaldi season 10 episode or two-parter that you would absolutely hate because it's very much kind of like an episode of NCIS. It's a terror episode where the Zygons, the octopus shape-shifting people, have been integrated into society, but some of them don't want to have to like hide who they are, so they've formed basically ISIS. The Zygon logo is just the ISIS logo,
Huh.
and it's that. And then like the Doctor's president of the world, and he has like a Air
What?
Force One. Yeah, he got made president of the world. They just gave up at one point, and they were like, "Yeah, see, when crises happen, we're just gonna make the Doctor like acting president." Yeah, it happened in like a Cyberman two-parter, and these Air Force One got like shot down by Cybermans. Yeah,
That's okay.
he was president
What?
of the world, world president. It happened, acting world president.
That seems like a bad. That seems bad.
Yeah, it happened again. I think I don't know if he. I think he's like, no, I'm not accepting that. But basically, they all just defer to him because they know in like
I mean,
those episodes that they're just like, phone the Doctor, give the Doctor power. We'll see how it goes.
what I would more want them to do, like in that style thing, would be to just shut down units,
Mm.
because all units ever actually does to accomplish anything is call the Doctor.
Are
Well, you
gonna
need their
make-
bodies.
You're going to make Mark Gatiss cry. Mark Gatiss is going to hear this. And
Don't get me wrong, I love Unit, but they are largely ineffectual without the Doctor.
I mean, there's a big Finnish audio series of just Unit dealing with things. I assume they just all die like every episode. There's those named ones. There's the Doctor, the Brigadier's granddaughter, I think, who's like the Brigadier currently, and then that Scarf Girl.
Kate Lethbridge. Sure.
Kate, yeah. So they presumably all survive, but it must be just like relentless audios of just red shirt after red shirt grinding against the meat grinder, of just like, oh, it's an alien that's immune to bullets.
I was,
Bleh.
I was thinking the other day about how good that Matt Smith / Tom Baker scene was.
Oh,
That's like just
I get that.
insanely good.
I usually don't get chills,
I
but
could get actual tears when I watch that scene.
actual tears.
Yes.
And try and
Anyway, we're largely off topic now, I suppose.
Yeah, we should probably sum up. We should sum up. I had a point about last week, like what I'd like the series to be, and I was saying like
Oh,
new
yeah.
monsters we got. A new monster wasn't the best, but you know there's a new monster. I think we might get a lot of them this series. I believe.
Well, I think they've
Something.
said that there's not going to be any returning monsters.
Yeah, so at least until Christmas, so we'll get that, and then maybe the Christmas will have the Daleks.
The rumor is Christmas
I sort of
Daleks.
said it like a through plot, like not necessarily like complex like Moffat, but like I don't want just standalone episodes. Like I want a through plot.
It looks like
give
the
me a
through
through
plot. Going from episode 1, it looks like they're.
Is it going to be? Because my point was, like maybe like they're working towards something or like working towards a villain, but it seems like maybe working towards getting TARDIS. I don't know how long
See if
that'll
it's
last.
just Quantum Leap for this series.
Yeah.
I would have no problem with that.
I don't know how long that'll last. But that's a hook. Like I can be. But I really hope they don't go just solid standalone episodes.
Well, I think it'll be standalone episodes, but then they leave at
People
the
who
end.
want that don't know what they want. Like they're going to be disappointed when it's like.
I just-
I digress.
You digress,
You
but it's a
mean-
solid point because like it's a balance between like I want new things, but also I need things that I know to recognize for things to matter.
Yeah, like I need a series arc to like delineate in my head like series of Doctor. I like being able to do that. Like I like
Mhm.
having a free plot.
Reacting to one thing you said there, I wouldn't be too sad if I never saw the Daleks again.
Well,
And I think that
the nation estate will be having a word with you, Michael.
They have to do the Daleks every year. This is in the contract.
we do.
it's in the contract. Yeah,
We think they do, I
I
guess,
get
is what we
that,
say.
but, like, and yes, they are very marketable and all that. But the thing is, that I've seen so many Dalek episodes.
Oh yeah.
For example, like Moffat's last season didn't have the Dalek except for like 5 minutes there. Where, like,
They showed like a clip.
there's a bit with Bill, like they released like a Bill, like like we're introducing Bill as the new companion with the Daleks, right?
Mm.
And then that was just suspiciously in Bill's first episode.
They went to a space station to get a thing and then immediately left. And in the background, the Daleks were fighting Movellans, who were in one episode in 1979, written by Douglas
cool.
Adams, and they are Douglas Adams' ass, like
And that
a
was-
race of disco robots.
There was only Daleks in that episode for maybe 5 minutes total.
Aye.
We were there.
But like, I think the rumor, I've not even looked into it. I think what we've heard is that it's going to be like plot for 10 episodes up until Christmas, and then it'll be like a standalone Christmas episode,
Yeah.
which will have Daleks. And they've not done Daleks at Christmas yet, which is
What,
weird.
really?
Yep,
Never.
never. To my knowledge, thinking about it off the top of my head.
Huh.
Yep, I can
They
go
have
through.
done Cybermen at Christmas, I believe.
The first
Yes.
one was the Sycorax.
Sycorax,
second one was
then
Iron
Rachnos.
Bride, Rachnos.
How could you not remember the Rachnos?
Yeah.
That Rachnos Queen like costume / set was
Three was the
amazing.
Poseidon Adventure on Titanic in space.
Mhm.
They should have made it. It was kind of
Four
like the
was
Towering
that-
Inferno.
Yeah, during Inferno. So 4 was the next Doctor, which we don't talk about.
The next Doctor was fine. It's completely forgettable. It's one of your hated ones because it's in the
Five
past.
was-
What was the next Doctor Cyberman one?
Yes,
Yeah,
it's
that's
Steampunk Cyberman. And
Five.
that Cyber King.
Yeah, I remember.
5 was Christmas Carol.
5 was a Christmas Carol where they
Six.
rewrite a man's entire history and change who he is, and it's horrible.
6, I cannot remember.
Six-
Is that the one with Alexander Armstrong?
Yes,
in it?
that is the Narnia one.
Yeah, Narnia one.
Where they it's like a forest and there's like wood people and there's like mechs piloted by Bill Bailey and someone
That
else.
one, yeah.
And-
7 was Santa. Was that Santa?
No, what? Wait, I guess a bit wibbly there because
Probably, 'cause it was the Santa one with River Song. There was a River Song.
No,
one.
the
There was
Santa
a
one-
Weird superhero one.
is that how it goes? Are we missing one?
I feel like we're missing one.
Is there
Oh no, we're missing the one with Clara in it. The Victorian one.
the Victorian one with
Oh,
the
yeah.
snowman?
Yeah, the snowman. That's not
That's
what it's
all
called.
right.
The snowman, isn't it?
Yeah, the snowman. That's the Great
That's the one we're
Intelligence.
missing, yeah, the Great Intelligence. Yeah, that was a good one.
I feel I don't know how that was a good one considering you hate the ones in the past, and it's very much one of those ones in the past.
Yeah, I guess.
And the Doctor's like brooding.
I'm more accepting of it at Christmas.
All right, that's understandable.
Also, we're totally missing Matt Smith's final episode as a Christmas.
That is a Christmas one, isn't it? Yeah. And the two Doctor ones, the End of Time is a Christmas episode.
Yeah, you're right.
We missed that, and then the End of Time Part 2 is a New Year's episode. I want to say, wasn't it on like New Year's Eve or New Year's Day or?
The End of Time Part 2 was New Year's Day.
So we missed those, but so no Daleks thus far, and then there was Capaldi ones that were meeting River Song again.
Meeting River Song, the superhero one, and the first Doc one.
So
Oh,
what's this? I'm not gonna ask.
There's a lot
No,
of
that's-
Doctor Who Christmas
What
specials.
was the superhero one?
There was a superhero one. I've not seen it. It's up on
I've
Netflix.
not seen it.
It's-
I know it's just some guy who's like a superhero or something.
It's called The Return of Doctor Mysterio, and I think it's like an hour of Moffat scoffing at superhero tropes. Is
That
mainly
sounds very old man grumpy.
yeah.
Moffat.
I don't know if I can face it.
Anymore.
It's the second. Oh, I think it's the second one with Nardole.
Is that the first appearance of Nardole?
I think Nardole's in the Riversong one, and he gets his
yeah,
head
you're
chopped
right,
off
yeah.
by Greg Davies. Is that his name?
Yeah.
Is that his name?
Man,
Man,
really tall guy.
tall guy. Yeah.
He's in Cuckoo.
Yeah, the guy in Cuckoo. He's in like a mech suit, and he's like a
That-
barbarian space king.
That sounds like a really good
That
comedy
River
role
Song
for
one
him.
Yeah.
is like because the River Song gives the Doctor gives River Song her sonnet.
The Doctor
At the end of that episode.
spends 40 years with Riversong in that episode
Yeah.
until she has to go and die. I can't get drawn on Riversong. I can't think about anything about her because no. But that episode's important because she doesn't know Capaldi
Yeah.
because the Doctor dies when he's Matt Smith, and that's what she knew because he had these regenerations. But then, like, that episode's the main thing of that episode is the Doctor cutting about being like, oh, I'm the Doctor, and she's or like he doesn't say he's the Doctor, but he's like, do you not know who I am? Do you not know who I am? And she's like, what? No, my husband, Greg Davies, the space warlord's over there, and he's like, husband?
Don't you know
What?
my character's entire gimmick,
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
or that plot's entire gimmick is one they're going the other way.
they were going the other way for a bit, and then it went on too long, and then I think they went perpendicular to each
Yeah.
other for a while.
Yeah.
And also, she's the child of Amy and Rory, which
Yeah.
doesn't mean anything.
And also can regenerate.
She can regenerate a bit, but I think she can't anymore. I think he
Yeah.
kissed that out of
Is
her.
that because she was conceived in the TARDIS?
I think that was something to do with that. Also, yeah. Yep. Yes.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, she was on like unstable, and then he kissed her when he was like dying of poisoning because she poisoned him.
Incidentally, this is the argument against David you saying he wanted through plots to the episodes and not just
That is-
stand alone. Because see if they actually do try and write a through plot and have not really got that much of an idea of what it's going to be, you get things like the mad continuity loophole bullshit of River Song and the silence and
That is the problem.
everything else.
It's a balancing thing because you want it to go somewhere,
I didn't say I
but
wanted it to be as prevalent as it was in like series 2 of Moffat,
mm.
Yeah.
but
Season 1 of Moffat is what you ideally
season
want.
season 1 of Moffat is what I ideally want.
You want it to
That
be
was
like
a perfect through arc.
you need.
Because it even had like characters like all the like Churchill and like all that all the characters like coming together at the end
Mhm.
there, and it really worked.
The
very
end
well.
ended with a wedding as well. Like
Yeah.
it had a good structure to it. Did season 5,
Yeah.
and then the crack
The
thing.
pacing was fantastic.
The pacing was
they were
good.
starting to build up there. Then you got a little bit of the Lodger.
I like the Lodger.
Like
It's-
Rory died, and you're just like the
Well, of
emotion.
course,
was
Rory
too,
died. Rory died in every single episode.
the emotion was too much, and then
Or
you got
appeared
the
to die.
Lodger.
Then you got the Lodger. Does Amy finds the wedding ring in that episode? I want to say, or something.
Well, the great thing about the Lodger wasn't how it fit in with the rest of the series. The Lodger was like one of the great standalone episodes.
It was a Doctor Who magazine comic originally.
Really?
It was the Doctor staying with Mickey because it was a Tennant era thing, and they just
Yeah.
adapted it for.
Well,
stuff.
that worked very well.
Yeah.
Also, a great guest role for James Corden.
Oh,
and I
God.
kind of believe that that's what got him his current job.
I like James Corden in that episode, and I like him in Gavin and Stacey. I have no. If you're listening, Americans, why do you like James Corden? It's a genuine mystery. Because he's likable, I guess. But
Well,
why
no,
do
he's
you
not.
like him?
He's a bit of a wee shit, isn't
He is, but like
He does the
Gavin and
cameo
Stacey's
thing.
fine.
he? No, Gavin and Stacey is horrible.
Gavin and Stacey is fine.
Him in particular in Gavin and Stacey is like unbearable to me.
Mm.
I
quite like
find
Gavin
I find
Stacey.
I find James Corden's like his actual full on James Corden sense of humor is really hard to stomach.
Right.
James Corden with a bit of a leash on, like not being allowed to make that many sex jokes,
Right.
it's okay.
Okay.
And that's basically what you get in him as a TV host. And
I've not watched any of his TV shows for it because I'm so
I've seen-
bamboozled by it.
I've seen clips. I agree with you. Like, why is James Corden the biggest?
It's,
TV
it
host
just
in
doesn't
the
make
world,
sense.
but-
It makes me question the nature of reality because I saw him doing a really terrible, like BBC Three sketch comedy thing, and then that bombed, and then the next day, he was like the host of a late night American talk show thing where he gets all the likes and views in the world because it's like front page stuff on YouTube. Like every night, it's like, oh, what happened last night on James Corden or like whatever the show's called, and like
The
How-
late.
how did they find him?
They
Like,
saw him on that episode of Doctor Who. I'm
maybe
telling
they
you.
asked Craig Ferguson.
Yeah,
Is
from Cumbernauld.
Yeah.
Good old Craig Ferguson. Is he still going?
Don't know. I
I
know.
don't know why
Did
he quit the Late Show.
Oh,
That's
right.
why James
Was it
Corden-
that show that he was on? Right, okay.
Yeah,
Mm.
James Corden got his.
My
job.
favourite fact about him is that he brought the guy who played Daredevil, the guy who played the Kingpin in Daredevil. You know, the guy who was in Green Mile.
Alright, yeah, okay.
That guy.
Was that Ving Rhames? Am I being racist?
I don't know his name. He's incredibly big and bulky and muscular. He brought him to Cumbernauld to do a special because he came from Cumbernauld. They cut about Cumbernauld for a bit and they were like, yeah, I came from here and like there's some story and stuff. And like I brought this guy with me because it's funny or whatever. And then he died. I'm pretty sure Cumbernauld killed him. Like exposure to Cumbernauld just downed that man.
Well,
We should probably end it on that
Probably
note.
not.
I-
No.
and on that bombshell.
On that
I
bombshell,
didn't intend to. It just came out there.
I think Top Gear's fine. Not watched it since
I
stopped
think,
watching
I
Dave.
saw a little bit of post Chris Evans Top Gear.
Oh god, no, I've
Oh,
not seen any
yeah.
of the normal. Like I saw it up until Jeremy punched that man.
Yeah. Well,
And-
like Chris Evans Top Gear wasn't quite fine, but I think if they'd let it continue on for a bit, then it would have eventually become fine. And then they fired everybody.
What is?
And then it's
He was
like,
the fall guy. Well, he quit. He devoured him basically because he was the part of the show that didn't work.
yeah.
Mm.
Part
Is-
of the big issue was that Andy Willman, who was the lead producer, left when Clarkson and the lads did,
Mm.
and I think it's worth making a point, especially considering Clarkson punched one of the producers in the face, that it was the producers as much as the three lads on screen that made Top Gear what it was.
Absolutely.
So
So now we've talked about Doctor Who, Sherlock, and Top Gear at various points in the
Sherlock's
podcast.
very important to Doctor Who because Sherlock deeply informed Capaldi's Who because he was just writing Sherlock when he was doing Capaldi's Who.
Are there any other big BBC productions that we can?
I've not seen The Bodyguard.
MasterChef, just saying, just saying.
I've not
That's
seen The
it.
Bodyguard, but we'll get around.
The Bodyguard we'll probably talk about in later episodes because that's the most watched thing
That's-
since 2008,
It
which
was
is
the-
terrifying.
It was the most watched live thing since 2008. It might be the most iPlayer thing
It's not
ever,
called.
or
It's
something.
just Bodyguard.
The Bodyguard.
The Bodyguard is in film.
That's
I will be
yeah.
calling it The Bodyguard for the rest of the time. What was the last? Was it Doctor Who that was the last most watched thing, or am I being too optimistic there? 2008. Was it The Stolen Earth? Was it David Tennant getting
I
regenerated
believe
by that
The
Dalek?
previous most watched BBC drama before.
Was it Ashes to Ashes?
It was
Ashes to Ashes.
the Doctor Who 50th anniversary. Although you can
Oh.
make the argument that
But that was 2013, so.
Yeah, you can make
How,
the
how have we got the segue from John Sim to one of those cop shows, and the one that we picked later on in the thing was Ashes to Ashes instead
Ashes
of
to
White
You can
Ashes.
make the argument that was just so yeah. Basically, was just like the last thing that was like drama that was rating to the levels of like that. The
Hmm.
Bodyguard was like Tennant Who.
Tennant
on the
Who.
regular.
Yeah,
I mean, you really Tennant only got like super high ratings on the specials also.
Oh, that's true. I think we should end with thinking about: are we looking forward to
I'm
next
looking
week?
forward to the next episode.
Yes, I would like to. I would like to see the Doctor develop her own actual
Yes.
personality.
Yeah, more about like maybe a bit of a darker edge. Like
I don't necessarily need darker. I just need
I'm-
more.
I don't
I
necessarily.
think this episode was dark enough. I don't think that was.
I don't necessarily mean dark. I just like show more of her character. I guess. Right?
Yeah, like why is
I
she
don't
unique?
want her to just be doing "I am confused, David Tennant" for
I
the rest of
no
this.
chance.
Yeah.
I really hope that the companions have a bit more to him than I have dyspraxia.
Well, it'll be him overcoming the
I
dyspraxia.
know, but
If,
like,
if,
see if every episode has a bit.
I would love it if they keep going, just mentioning the fact he's got dyspraxia. I would love it if there's some writer on staff that's just like, I really want to have a positive role model for dyspraxic young children.
I can relate.
I think
I
I
would-
basically
I would
should
love
not
that.
said as much. But
That I can't fly this land speeder. I've got dyspraxia.
I can't fly this TARDIS. I've got dyspraxia.
The TARDIS is point and click. Just say when and where you want to be.
Have you ever seen?
I
Journey's
know that
End?
I know it flies now, but no.
Have you ever seen Journey's End?
Hmm. Journey's End. I am looking forward to the next episode. I think it looks because is it a quarry?
You saw there was a trailer after.
It was like a 15-second trailer.
It wasn't even part of the episode.
We've
it was
already
like
done. We've already done
one
car
promo.
parks and building sites.
Yeah.
So we need the
It
quarry
looked like
now.
Corey, yes. I really hope there's a bit more sci-fi in it.
Yep, it does look so. It does look a wee bit.
Monster.
It does look a wee bit
I
Star
believe this
Warsy.
episode- Yeah, I believe this episode is written by Chibnall also.
Is it? That's good. That bodes well. I like when that happens. I like Rose going straight into the end of the world, and it's also like a
The 11th
RTD.
The 11th hour going into the beast.
the Beast Below though.
I quite like
Beast
the
Below. Beast No Low. That's my. That's what I've got to say about the Beast
I
Below.
quite like the beast below. Fight me.
The beast be no.
Scotland gets its own space whale because like they went independent.
Yeah.
Before the solar flares.
That one.
Or Scotland just bought its own rocket because the space whale thing happened. They just bolted their ship to a space whale. Again, Beast Below. No, not great.
I quite like the beast below.
No, I suppose.
I feel like he admitted that he didn't. Yeah, he wrote it on the fly, which is like that's fine. That's what everybody does. But like, surely you were like
That's
writing that
literally
season
what
for years.
RTD did that for 5 years.
I know, but surely like. Because it feels like you had a plan there for everything else, but you didn't think about your second episode?
Maybe he had a script that fell.
Yeah, the pressures of TV running are something we're not really privy to, unless we read that RTD book where he just...
Like maybe he'd got
How
a
to
script,
write.
but, like,
No, it wasn't
the
how to
script
write.
didn't, like the script wasn't finished or it wasn't good enough.
Mm.
He was like, I'm gonna have to write something.
Was it the Stephen Fry script that was going to happen but fell through?
That was Fear Her.
Was that Fear Her? Right, okay.
This is a good example of writing episodes on the fly. Is Fear Her.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it. I'm a wee bit... It looks kind of Star Warsy, like kind of space westerny.
Yeah, like quite west.
There was like a guy and he said something along the lines...
Reminded me of like a town called Mercer.
Yeah, that was the one with Peter Serafinowicz as like a cyborg cowboy who was a good guy, and then there was a ginger man who was a bad guy.
We'll join you next week with whatever that episode is called.
Whatever that episode is called, we could look it up.
Sorry,
We could eye it on the.
Do you want me to look it up?
Not really. Like I'd
No.
like the mystery.
No.
We'll turn up and it'll be
We'll tell you
called.
next week.
Yeah, tune in next week. Thanks for listening, James. We've got a viewer.
Is it James Corden, do you think?
I think it's James Meek, Big Meeksy. I used to work with the
You're
man.
doxing
Alright.
someone on a podcast.
I'm doxing, yeah. I'll give him his location and we'll swat him in a minute. Aye, thanks for listening, everybody.
Bye.
Bye. Here's a tune.
Boop, boop.